Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 5th. We're just going to jump right in here, Virgo, and see what is going on for you at this time. And this deck is all messed up, so that's why I'm flipping these cards over. But you have this why card. It is a card of asking the question why, obviously, but I kind of feel like I get more of this feeling of you getting to the bottom of something. I don't think this is necessarily like a secret or, that's not like the feeling I get. Really, I feel like it's a good thing, whatever you're getting to the bottom of. It's like you're figuring out, a better way to run your business or, you're figuring out a better way to have a relationship or whatever the case may be. I get this sense of security. You have the Fool, and the Fool has a dog right here. The dog can represent companionship, and he also represents loyalty as well on the Fool card. But I get more security. And, that's more of the feeling that I get from the reading in general. So, this could be like a job that provides more security, or you're coming up with ways to create more security. I'm also noticing royalty here. I mean, this dog, speaking of the dog, it represents a Maltese. And in the times of tarot, the Maltese was like a dog of royalty. Only the kings had a Maltese. You also have purple and purple right here. Purple in the tarot is a color of royalty. So, for some of you, it's like there's something here about you, some of you, it's like maybe I'm not saying you're going to become royalty or anything like that, but, what I am saying is it's almost like there is some sort of achievement, and even here, his head is glowing on the Hangman, and it kind of represents enlightenment, but we call that the crown. So, there's something in this reading about kind of, I almost feel like you're either getting a crown or you're creating a crown in your life. This could be like a new position at work. Something I would say, if you're wondering what this is, I feel like there's been a lot of confusion around it. So it's like, if it's a job, it's like maybe you always think that you know what you're going to do for a job or a career, and then you don't. Like, it's, I kind of get that feeling of like thinking that you want to do something, but then you do it and you're like, I don't know, this isn't that great, so it's like you kind of, I'm not suggesting you jump around, but, I feel like some of you are looking for something where, again, you can feel more like royalty or, feel more like you're supposed to be doing it. Even if you have a business. Again, we've been talking about this for like the past few weeks, or maybe the past couple months, I should say. It just seems to me like I'm not saying if you have a business, I don't think you're like totally leaving it behind. I feel like you're just maybe transforming it or changing it, and that's kind of like what I see going on here. You have the Fool, so again, I feel like you always get the Fool. I literally said this to you in your last reading, so I feel like it's time for you to take some sort of leap of faith. I feel there's a lot of success. Some of you could be leaping into a relationship as well. You have the Lovers, Ace of Pentacles to the Two of Cups. Again, some of you could be attracting a person that makes you feel like royalty, just like I said, or maybe you just feel very blessed to be with this person. Definitely could be a fire sign. You always get fire in your readings. It could be a Libra, Pisces, Gemini stand out to me as well, so take it how it resonates, but, it could be any sign. You have the Knight of Wands here. Again, this is where I get more of that back and forth type of energy, but I'm talking about like in work where it's like you do something and then you're kind of like, this is just okay, and then you're looking for the next thing, right? So I feel like you're kind of about to, again, find your crown. Like I said, it's like, this could be you finding the job of your dreams, or a career that really, really resonates with you. And for a lot of you, I feel this could also be like a business as well, if you have a business. So let's see. Now, with the Seven of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, being able to take care of yourself. I mean, this is like rule number one for Virgo right here, is the Nine of Pentacles, right? Being independent, being able to take care of yourself, feeling very secure. I think when, Virgo feels secure, everything else kind of maybe comes after that, like, like a relationship, for example. Maybe when you get to a certain place financially, you find that your love life gets better, or, for some of you, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, by the way, but it's like maybe for some of you, it's like you're saying, I'll have a relationship when I have a certain amount of security in my life. And, I kind of feel like you're just claiming your independence here. With the Fool, you have the Sun. Yes, definitely a lot of happiness coming in for you. I feel like you need to go towards your happiness, really. I think this is true for everyone right now, is that we need to kind of move towards our bliss. I always talk about how I totally disagree with people who say, don't start a passion business. I understand why people say that about not having a passion business, but I have several based businesses that are around passions, and I don't know, it's worked for me. So, it's like I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. And I think we're entering into time where, right here, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, we really have to kind of move towards things that bring us joy, happiness, fulfillment, desire, all that other good stuff is what I would say. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Tower. Definitely could have been dealing with a player in the past here, but it looks like you're moving past it. Again, even this first position would technically be your past position. And then, I feel like there's something new. This would be like a soulmate right here. Ace of Pentacles even can be like an offer of marriage, or it can just kind of represent the path to marriage. It doesn't say you're going to like marry the next person you meet, but it does say, the potential for that exists. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this explore the possibilities. You also have this card that says spend less time worrying about your appearance. You are enough. Yes, I feel like you definitely need to realize that you are enough at this time. Again, obviously, I get this like feeling of royalty here. And so, like I said, if you're interested in like an important person or someone maybe you just have a person on a pedestal, again, I wouldn't do that. Make sure you're not putting someone on a pedestal, because usually when we do that, we get disappointed when we find out that they're like super weird or something like that, right? So, I feel like you need to kind of watch out for your expectations with a person. Or maybe what you think that they are, right? Especially if you have your eye on a person, you've never met them or something like that. I kind of get those feelings, but I feel like you should explore it. Like if you're interested in a person, I feel, I would go for it. You have the Lovers, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Cups, really, really nice. Definitely could be a fire sign. It could be any sign, but fire has been standing out for me, for you, for a while. It could just be something that is very fiery as well, but I would go for it. I also feel that you do need to explore. I think everybody needs to explore right now, but you have the Ten of Wands, the Lovers, and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a card of adventure and exploration. So he just is enthusiastic. He gets excited about something and he starts moving towards it. And that is very like Pluto and Aquarius, and I would say that the Page of Wands to the Ace of Pentacles here would definitely say that, you could be working towards something or moving towards something that creates a lot of success in your life, but you have to go on the adventure to find it. And it's like with the Ten of Wands, it's kind of like, do I start this? do I pick up these burdens? Do I want to go on this journey? These are the questions I'm getting here, Virgo. So it's like, if you want to start a business or something, for example, it's like it's like maybe you know how to do it, but you're kind of asking yourself, do I want to carry these burdens? I would say yes. To me, the Ten of Wands is not a bad card. He planted those wands. Those wands represent a harvest, and he's carrying them to his home right here in the background. So, I kind of feel like for some of you, there's a harvest coming in for you based off of work that you've done. But, the Ten of Wands kind of says you have to keep pushing to that home. But I feel like you're at the end of a long journey. You have the Lovers here. And again, for some of you, this definitely could be in your love life. For those of you that want love, again, maybe it's been a long journey and you could be attracting like a really good person here, obviously. Like I said, that you could see them as royalty. I would be careful of putting them on a pedestal, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of true. you could be attracting an important person, like maybe you're attracted to your boss or something like that. I don't know. This reading just kind of gives me those vibes. Again, I'm not saying that you're gonna like be with someone famous, but it's kind of giving me those vibes of someone important, or someone who maybe is like important in your community, or something. It's like this person stands out, let's put it that way, right? Let's see, with the Ten of Wands, you have the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, it's like too much overthinking, especially this way. Ace of Pentacles is always just a card of potential. Like, it is a good card, right? But, at the same time, Ace of Pentacles, it's something that we have to nurture into existence. We don't just get we have to plant that pentacle, right? It's good, but it only represents potential. And the Seven of Cups can represent kind of seeing the good things and the bad things that could possibly happen. Again, a collective energy that I've been feeling recently is that, people really could be stuck in this energy of like seeing the good, seeing the bad, but then kind of allowing the bad to take over and just say, oh, I'm not going to start this business because I always fail, or, oh, I'm not going to get into this relationship because people always leave me, or, whatever the case may be. So the Seven of Cups kind of says like, you need to find out, you need to not project into the future and assume that something is going to go a certain way just because that's been your story, right? With the Lovers, you have the Knight of Cups here. Definitely a knight in shining armor. Could be a water sign as well. It could be like a water sign with Libra or fire in their chart. It could be like, something. I feel like this person isn't just a water. If it is a water sign, what I'm trying to say is it's not a typical water sign. It's not, I feel like this person isn't necessarily like overly emotional, for example. I feel like they're not, there's something different, something more unique, in this situation. With the Page of Wands, I mean, what do you know? You have the Ace of Cups. It's almost like it's a fire sign, right? As I've been saying, I would say regardless of the sign, it doesn't matter. I feel like this person could just be very fiery. They could be very enthusiastic, passionate. They could have like a young side to them. They might be older than you, but with the Page of Wands, I don't know. I'm getting something here about they kind of have like a youthfulness about them. So if you're wondering who this person is, that could help, especially, if it's like a boss or someone that you look up to or whatever, that could definitely be. The Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, so a lot of happiness here, especially if you had like a cheater, liar, cheater, stealer with this Knight of Wands and Tower. Two aces. Two aces is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered, so love to see that. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the spell work card. It says, using magic spells or your manifestation power is strong. So, time to manifest. You have the science card. It says, keep an open mind. There's something unfolding for you. And we definitely see that here. I mean, you have this card here that said explore the possibilities. So, I feel like you're exploring new possibilities. And again, it doesn't have to be in love. This could be in all areas of your life, really. I feel kind of like you're working on a lot of different things, not just, one thing. And so I feel like you need to use your powers of manifestation. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is an energy of like it needing to bathe in the energy of what you want. Again, if you think everybody's going to cheat on you, then everybody's going to cheat on you with the Nine of Cups. If you think that you can attract someone who's, like royalty, then that's what you'll attract. So, but you have to kind of like be in that energy. And that's what I'm getting here with these cards. I also feel like you need to keep an open mind. Again, it's like, I'm not calling anyone out here, but I always get tons of comments from people that are like, I would never date a water sign, or I would never date a fire sign. I'm like, well, great. That's a one-way ticket to signing up and buying Chris's cat food, chrisscatfood.com. It's coming soon. So, again, I fully support the cat ladies. I love it. I'm not a cat person. I'm actually super allergic to cats, unfortunately, but I support the cats. So, again, Chris's cat food coming soon. People think I'm joking. I'm dead freaking serious. So, again, I fully support it. But, again, if you don't want to be single, keep an open mind. Because, again, there might be a fire sign. It's like not every sign is exactly the same. You have the Justice card, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a card of fulfillment, like total fulfillment. So I feel for a lot of you, there's something very fulfilling coming in for you here. I also feel like you need to bathe in the energy of what you want. So we have to be in the energy of something before we have it. And, I feel like a lot of you could be working on those like limiting beliefs that get in your way. But I also feel like it's time for you to make a wish. You have the Ace of Pentacles, pretty big offer coming in for you. I feel for some of you this month of June, even though this is a weekly reading, I feel like it might not come in this week. But if you are like waiting to move, but you need to get a job first or something like that, there could be, I kind of feel this could be the month that you get an offer for whatever this is. I said this to you, I think like 2 readings ago or something. I have a very, like, there might be an opportunity for some of you to, like do something once. I don't really have a, I don't have a good example for you here, but it could be like if you're like a freelancer, let's say, or you do like freelance work or something, there could be like a big contract I'm getting coming in for you. It might only be once, but it, could be like a good chunk of change that's coming in here. So I would take it. It is popping into my head that maybe you're a little bit nervous to take it because it might just be bigger than what you're used to, right? But I feel like you just need to realize there's just like an extra zero after what you would normally charge, right? So don't be afraid to take on a big project. I feel like it's not really big. It's just, there's just an extra zero at the end of it. So there you go. That could be a good thing. For others, definitely could be a love offer, something that leads to marriage. I mean, it's like a true soulmate that's coming in for you here. You have this Justice card. Justice, of course, is a card of balance, so I do feel things are balancing out for you. I do get something legal, by the way. If you're, like, involved in something legal, this could be a settlement. You go Justice to the Ace of Pentacles, so, there could be a settlement or something like that coming in for you. I also feel like you could be getting positive karma for things that you have been through in your life, and that's kind of like what I see here with the Justice card is, like, there's some sort of positive karma coming in here. So, let's see. With the Justice card, you have the Two of Pentacles. I also feel like you really need to kind of, like weigh, choose your battles. Like, I'll just bare my soul to you here, Virgo. Like in real life, I'm a little bit of a dick, right? Personally. And so, sometimes people leave me comments on this channel and I go off, right? Which I shouldn't, right? And so what I would say is I've been working really hard to just ignore it, to really just like release those things and let it go, right? And just say like, okay, there's no reason to rip this person's head off or anything like that. So, I kind of get that a little bit of energy. I'm not saying you're ripping people's heads off or anything like I do, but, I feel like maybe you're just like really, it's like perspective, right? It's like I feel like you're really saying in the long run, are these certain little issues that pop up in my life, are they at the end of the world? Like, does it even matter? No, it doesn't. And so, again, I feel like you're just saying to yourself, you're really just balancing your energy is what I feel there. And I feel, for whatever reason, I feel it's a good thing. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So anything you can do to work with other people would be great. Again, if this is a love reading for you, then I love the Three of Pentacles, because to me, it's a person who really puts in the work. They really want to build something like permanent and something successful. For others, if you're like working on your business, I feel like you need to have a plan. It doesn't even have to be a good plan. I think it just has to be a plan. And, it'll just help keep you on track is what I'm getting here. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is like turning one thing into another, but I get something about action here. This is a card of alchemy. Normally, the Temperance angel is pouring two cups together and turning water into wine. But, it's almost like you need to, I feel like you've been doing the manifestation stuff in your life, or maybe you've been working on manifestation, but which is great, but I feel like there are little actions as well that would just maybe like kind of push it over the edge. Like, I love manifestation. Obviously, I'm like obsessed with law of attraction. I've been obsessed with Esther Hicks since I was like a kid, literally. Like I always say, I was like a weird kid. I didn't watch cartoons. I didn't even like cartoons, had zero imagination, right? And, I used to just watch weird stuff all the time. So, if that doesn't explain who I am, then I don't know. But there you go. But what I would say here is I'm all about it, is what I'm saying. I've been learning this stuff forever. And yeah, I've seen it work in my own life. But at the same time, I do feel that a lot of manifestation, it's like we do need to take more action than some of the great teachers, maybe make it seem. So, don't be afraid to take action. Don't be afraid to like work hard. It's like people always come at me and say like, how could you love Esther when you always talk about working hard? I'm like, yeah, but you have to understand the difference. It's like she doesn't say that you shouldn't work, for example, or work hard. She's just saying you shouldn't force yourself to do things out of alignment. It's like everything I do is in alignment. So, I feel like that's what's more important here. Next, except for when I go off on people in the comments, that is not in alignment. I will fully admit that, right? You have this Dolphins card. It says playfulness, cooperation, and you have this Horse card. It says freedom and action. We need more playfulness right now, for sure. I mean, I've been saying this for months, that I think we're in a time where we really need to make sure we're not becoming dull. I always say I was stuck for a good 4 years in my life, maybe a little bit longer, actually. And, it wasn't until I started walking. I always say that's the first thing I did to break myself out of a period where I was really stuck in life. And, I'm convinced that it changed my life, really, just walking, because I was like moving the energy forward. But then I also, like, I started going out with friends. Before that, I was punishing myself because I didn't have money. And so I wouldn't go out with friends or anything like that. But then I started to, and it's like, it changed my life. It opened things up. I started allowing myself to have fun. I literally started making more money. I've even noticed in my life now, it's like, it's like if I don't do something like one of my hobbies for an extended period of time, my money always goes down. I always have some sort of issue or problem or something comes up when I'm not, getting out of my head or going to take time to recharge in nature or whatever. So I feel like some of you definitely need to do that with this energy. Again, I always get my best answers. People always say to me, and I've said this as well, that, I always get the best answers in the shower. And it's like, I don't think we have to take showers all the time to get good answers. I think what it is it's like you're out of your head. You're not really thinking. So it's like another great way to do that is to go do a hobby or something you enjoy. So I feel like some of you need to do that. You have the Hangman, the Two of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Hangman, of course, is kind of like delays and, some sort of sacrifice. I don't feel like you wasted your time. This is coming up in the area of messages from your future self, by the way. And I don't think you feel like you've wasted your time over the last few years. I just think maybe you're kind of like looking at things and saying like, oh, I've been stuck in certain areas of my life, and I wish I knew that, if I knew then what I know now type of energy is what I'm getting here. And I feel like you need to not do that. I feel like you need to look at what you've learned. Again, his head is glowing. He's gained enlightenment. It's like saying it's time for him to go. Next, you have the Two of Cups. I do feel like that your future self is saying that if you do enter into a love situation with someone who feels like royalty very clearly in this reading, again, they just feel like a good person to me, whoever this is. So I would go for it. Definitely could be a fire sign, like I said, but take it how it resonates. And I feel like your future self is saying you're really going to, like, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure like what you want to do, I feel like you will be very happy if you go for this, whatever, whoever, whatever this is. So, that's what I'll say there. I would also say that with the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups, the Two of Cups is about you and your higher self. And so if we, it's like one of those things where, if we pay attention to our higher self through signs, symbols, synchronicities, inspirations, things like that, it's like we won't make a mistake in love. Again, I feel like if you're worried that you're going to make a mistake and, be with someone who's going to hurt you or whatever, it's saying that you're like not paying attention. And I always tell people, it's like people tell us who they are immediately. It's like every single relationship I've been in. And again, it cracks me up because, it's like every single one, every single person I can look at and say, every single one told me exactly what was going to happen. I just chose not to listen. And again, as I always say, I don't think we should not have experiences. Life is about experiences, and I don't care if like the next person I date, if they tell me, oh, I'm going to cheat on you or whatever at the beginning, kind of, I'd still probably go with it, and I'd probably still be like, oh, let's see what happens, right? Because life is about experiences, and obviously I'm not suggesting that you should get cheated on, but I'm just saying, it's like there are certain things. Nobody says I'm going to cheat on you, but they might kind of display traits or say certain things that make you kind of think like, I wonder like what's going on here. But I think what's more important is we get into the situation and we know that we've learned from the past, so we say, okay, they said these things, kind of weird, and then if they start acting weird, they keep showing that that's who they are, then it's time to leave, right? That's like the one difference. I will never stop myself from having an experience. I just pay attention a lot sooner nowadays, and I feel like that's what this is saying. It's like saying you don't have to stop yourself from doing something, but you do have to be empowered, and you do have to say like, okay, they said something, or maybe they did something that was a little bit off, and now I'm just going to pay attention. I'm not going to punish them or whatever, but if they continue doing that, then I'm going to leave. I'm going to take my power back. So, that's what I feel like you need to do here with this energy. And you have the Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. So definitely improvements coming in for you here. If you're on the fence, by the way, about love, like some of you might be saying like, do I want a career or do I want to have a family or whatever? Again, I feel like your future self is saying like you would be very happy in this situation, whatever it is. With the Hangman, you have the Chariot. A lot of water here, so definitely could be a water sign. It, again, could be a fire sign with water as well. So could be a Cancer right here with the Chariot. But the Chariot is also a victory. And you have that horse card that says freedom. The Chariot, he is leaving behind the city behind him. He is setting himself apart. Pretty much everyone gets a Chariot, which is pretty weird. But what I would say is we have Pluto in Aquarius officially next year. And it's all about setting yourself apart, making yourself unique. With the Two of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles showing up here. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Remember, I literally said, don't put this person on a pedestal if you're meeting someone new. Five of Pentacles says, yeah, they're like, we all have weaknesses. Normally there's a guy who's got a belt around his neck on the Five of Pentacles, and it just says, focus on your strengths. And that's all you have to do here. I really feel like you could be attracting a person where it's like everybody has said to this person, you're too good for me. Or like, I kind of get that energy here, which is just BS in the first place when people say that, is what I would say here. Or maybe this has happened to you. Maybe everybody says to you, you're too good for me or whatever. And I feel like if you're attracting someone, I feel like they don't say that. They don't do that. It's like they know their worth. But again, if you are attracting a person, it's like sometimes I do think in our head, we can be like, why is this person attracted to me? They're like way better than me or whatever. And I feel like this is saying like, don't do that. I feel like everybody does that to this person, whoever it is. And it's because maybe they are awesome, maybe they are royalty or whatever, but again, don't put them on a pedestal. I feel like this person just wants to be treated like a normal person, plain and simple. With the Six of Swords, are you kidding? You have the Lovers here, and you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords says, do not run away from this situation. Again, not telling you what to do. People, I say this and people are like, I don't want love. And I'm like, okay, well, great. Go be single. Again, chrisscatfood.com. It's coming soon. So don't worry. This isn't for you if you don't want love. But if you do, again, I wouldn't run away from it. Like I said, obviously if it's toxic or something like that, then don't, obviously run away. But, that's what I'll say there. The other thing I'm getting here is that you're very close. Again, Knight of Swords, he's normally going towards the past. And I feel like this is saying, like, don't turn around, Sometimes I think we can get very... Are you... Look at the... are you kidding? I am speechless. Very first card. There you go. Again, I feel that you are very close to something here that could be very successful. But again, the Knight of Swords, we can run up to the door of success and then run away, and it just says don't do that. You have this card, honor and respect will come to you. The whole entire freaking reading was about royalty. It could just be you getting honor and respect, getting your crown, putting yourself on a pedestal, whatever. You have this beware of greed card. Yeah, I was kind of getting something. Remember what I said about going off on people or whatever? I feel like this is saying, like, understand your position. You know what I mean? It's like, so, be careful of, like, going off on people and all that other stuff. You have this mice card that says discord among family or friends. We are in a weird time where, I feel like there could be personal conflicts with people in our life, and I would just, avoid it at all cost. Obviously, I would, ignore it. Next, you have this broken ring card here. It says parting of the ways, either love or romance. You have the justice card as well. Some of you, I don't really feel bad about this. Like, if you're going through a divorce or separation, maybe it's like amicable, or, maybe it's just time, right? And so I feel like some of you have gone through that. You have this cobwebs card that says protected from negative forces beyond your control. And then you have this career card. You are definitely protected in your career, and there are definitely improvements in your career. But yeah, this is one heck of a reading here, Virgo. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.